Yes.
Okay, should we start with the mains?
The mains. Okay, right. Where do we look?
I recommend we only ever use one mains outlet.
One mains outlet
With a breaker.
Oh yeah.
The reason being, it's unlikely we'll ever play in a venue that's got more than one phase, but it does make sure you stay on the same mains phase and everything is protected by the same breaker, which is a pretty good way forward. It's best practice.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's fine. Mains, no problem at all. Got various ways of distributing. Let's look at the mixer.
Okay.
Plugging up the mixer. Channel 1 is dead. So Andy's labelled it channel 0. We never use that one.
Yes. Yeah.
So we start with channel 2. It's 1 to 8 from the drum, no problem at all. The only tricky bits are fullback comes from aux 2. So I've labelled it FB for fullback.
Yes. Yeah.
And that obviously that goes straight down to the first fullback speaker and is daisy chained to the second one.
Okay. What's its proper name? Something 2? Did you say?
aux 2, auxiliary 2.
Auxiliary 2. Okay. Yeah.
So it's plugged into the output of auxiliary 2. And the main level of fullback is this one, which has got a bit of silver gaffer tape, so that's the overall global fullback level.
Okay. Yeah.
The individual fullback levels for each channel are aux 2 on each channel. So, for instance, if I wanted, God help us, if I wanted more banjo in the fullback, never would obviously. Aux 2 on the banjo channel brings it up and down.
Okay.
Aux 2 on the violin channel brings the fiddle up and down in the fullback. Fine?
Yeah.
All straightforward so far. Now, because we're using a separate mixer amplifier, the two outputs from this mixer on simple XLR cables go to channels 1 and 2 on the mixer amplifier. And what I always recommend is at the beginning of the night you start with the main volume down and then make absolutely sure, it's quite hard to see because it's so dark, make absolutely sure that the channels are switched to line and not mic. And to switch, that's the line mic sensitivity switch.
Oh yeah.
This one here.
So online.
So it must be online.
Must be online, yeah.
Otherwise, if it's on mic, it'll be far too sensitive and it's liable to, at the very least, to howl around and quite possibly to blow speaker cones or even the amplifier itself. So make sure it's online, and then you can safely take the level back up to about there, because this is a very, very powerful amplifier.
Yeah.
So that's probably the most I would ever recommend putting those about 9 o'clock. About 9 o'clock on those.
Where else do we go?
And the two speaker outputs in the back go to the two speakers. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's really not complicated. Anything you think?
How do you do the yodeling?
Okay, if you want to do it, I don't know if I overdo the yodeling, but what I do is I take the effects return down before the song. Normally, the reverb I use is number 2, which is reverb hall 2. I find that's about right.
Yeah, for
that's for everything else. No, that's for everything else. For yodeling, I put it to 0.10.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Which is vocal echo.
Yeah.
And I put the reverb duration up quite high, and then only when the yodel comes up, lift that.
When it comes up?
Yeah, when you come to the yodeling part of the song,
yes.
only then do I take up the effects return.
Oh, I see. So you have that all set before the song starts?
Yes. So I don't use any effects return on that one song until the yodeling lines come up, in which case I take it up to about there, and then bring it back down again. Okay. That's only for that one song. For every other song, I tend to use, so Andy might be different, I tend to use 0.2, which is reverb hall 2, and a reverb duration of about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then bring it up about there for the song.
Yeah.
Apart from that, because we have a principle of not overdoing PA, I normally have the main output at -6 dB, and that helps to keep it under control. Mics and instruments both around 0 level.
Okay. 0. So
yeah, which is there. Not sure there's much else to
So
say.
do you leave that? Do you take those down in between songs, or
No.
or
Well, if somebody's replugging,
oh yeah,
if yourself or Gordon are replugging, which is
Yeah.
mainly what it is,
Yeah.
I would tend to take the main down and the reverb down.
yeah,
Because even though you've taken the main down, a replugging crackle can still come over fallback if you've got fallback up.
oh okay, yeah,
So while replugging is going on, I take the main down and the fallback down, and then try to remember to bring them both back up as we go into the song.
I see. All right. Right.
That's most of it, I think.
Yeah.
And we've adopted a convention of which channel goes into which instrument goes into which channel.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's mics 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And it's
Guitar.
Chris's guitar, the banjo,
Yeah.
and the fiddle.
Yes.
In 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
The mandolin into 7, and Steve's bass into 8.
Yeah. Right.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Thank you, Simon. Thank you.
Done now.
All right.